The Dreyfus Affair took place in France and began in 1894 and ended in 1906. The cause of this affair was because documents containing highly important information were in the trash, and after being tested by 5 agents to see whose handwriting it matched, they ended up accusing Alfred Dreyfus just because he was a Jew. His brother demanded for this judgment to be overthrown. When it wasn't, he made the Dreyfusards, which were supporters, and split France into 2. Emilia Zola released Jacuzzi, exposing the world's negative thoughts about the Jews, which is when Dreyfus was proven innocent. This event jeopardized France's future and caused many movements to begin.
World War I began on July 28, 1914 and ended November 11, 1918. This war started practically due to the Crimean War and how it altered the balance of power in Europe, and was caused because of the assassination of Ferdinand, which then led to a series of other events. World War I led to the fall of Germany, Russia, Austria-Hungary, and Turkey. A reconstruction of political order in Europe and the Middle East resulted from World War I.
The Holocaust occurred during the 1930s and 1940s. It happened during the same time as the significant events of World War II. The Holocaust was carried out by the Nazi Party and Adolf Hitler and was a part of their anti-Semitic beliefs that centered on racial superiority. The Holocaust was an example of prejudiced beliefs. It was an example of genocide, which is mass killings of people due to ethnic or religious reasons. After the Holocaust occurred, there was a focus on human rights after 1945.
The Spanish Civil War took place on July 17, 1936 to April 1, 1939. This war was fought by Republicans supported by the Soviet Union and nationalists supported by Nazi Germany. War broke out due to a group of conservative military attempting to overthrow the progressive government of the Popular Front. The Spanish Civil War was the most bloodiest Western Europe war that had been experienced since World War I.
The Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919. Due to this treaty, Germany was punished and had to pay for the damages of World War I. The Treaty of Versailles had ended World War I, but it was disliked by all the nations that had signed it. Germany especially. They now wanted to revolt against the laws in it because it took away their land and power. World War II began September 1st, 1939 and ended September 2nd, 1945 because Germany was invading other nations because they had lost their power due to the Treaty of Versailles. It began when France and Britain declared war on Germany because of the invasion of Poland by Nazi Germany. The war ended when Allies defeated the Axis powers of Nazi Germany, Japan, and Italy in 1945. World War I created consequences that led to World War II, such as newly developed states in Eastern Europe, which were ripe and weak for taking by Hitler. World War II resulted in around 85 million deaths total.
The D-Day operation occurred on June 6, 1944. It brought together the land, air, and sea forces of the Allied armies. This became what is known as the largest invasion force in the human history. It was the invasion of the beaches at Normandy in northern France. The troops that invaded were from the US, Canada, and the UK, and as well as other countries.
The Cold War started March 12, 1947 and ended December 26, 1991. The Cold War formed American foreign policy as well as a political ideology, had impacted the domestic economy, presidency, and affected lives of the Americans. The Cold War created conformity and normalcy. This was a period of tension between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. Their soldiers didn't battle directly, but their conflict due to an ideological and political rivalry between the U.S. and the USSR.
The Berlin Wall. It was built on August 12 between August 13th and 1961. It was taken down on November 9th in 1989. The Berlin Wall is a symbol to divide East Germany and West Germany. It was made to stop communism from spreading to West Germany. People were mad about this wall, and as it divided families and limited freedoms. There was many attempts to get over the wall, but not many succeeded. Many died by gunshot and suicide.
The Cuban Missile Crisis occurred during October 1962. It was a direct and dangerous confrontation between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War, and this was the moment when they came closest to nuclear conflict. It was a 13-day confrontation, and this was because the installation of nuclear missiles by the Soviets located on Cuba, and it was only 90 miles away from the United States shores.